Now, the fifth argument is what's called the moral argument. And this is the idea that basically inherent in every single person who has ever existed is this idea of right and wrong. Now, do some people go against their own conscience and do wrong? Of course, we all do. But inherently, let's be honest, we all have a common sense of certain things being right and certain things being wrong.
We do this, but it's because of societies and how societies have evolved. Successful societies have this common moral foundation that allow them to survive and thrive. Social norms established by societies change over time, and those in turn will change that common moral foundation. There's never been one moral foundation to rule them all. That's why our common moral foundation has changed over time. We see drastic changes in our morality with slavery, women's rights, and the rights of LGBTQ individuals.
We understand that it is wrong to molest a child. We understand that it is wrong to take the innocent life of somebody. We understand all these things are wrong. Where did that come from? Where did this idea of this is right and oh, no, this is wrong come from? It had to have come from God.
This is yet another mindfuck. How can you sit there and say that it's only because of God that we know not to take an innocent life or to molest a child? Let's take a look at Numbers 31:17-18. Now kill all the boys, and kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man, for totally not sex slave reasons. Now, that seems like God is commanding his chosen people to take innocent lives and then abduct young girls for sexual slavery. Now, tell me again how God is required in order for us to know that these are shitty things to do. Seems to me like God has no problem with killing innocent people and molesting young children. Well, I guess as long as God tells you to do it, it's perfectly fine. These two things are societal norms that are geared towards the survival of humans. We know that sexually assaulting anyone, let alone a child, is severely detrimental to them and does only harm. We also know that killing innocent people in a society is not only harmful for that society, but for individuals within that society. God is not required to understand these things.
Because if it didn't come from God, then that means that every single person on earth would have their own separate standard of morality versus there being a general common morality that is shared amongst all human beings. And that could have only come from a morally perfect being, i.e. God.
Every single person on earth has their own standard of morality. It just so happens that everyone living in one society generally has these overlapping standards that we call the common moral foundation. This would be the foundation that includes most people in the society. He also seems to have this idea that everybody on the face of this earth has this one singular common moral foundation. They don't. Psychopaths and sociopaths certainly don't. Generally, with this moral argument, an apologist will tell you that God has written these things on our hearts, so everybody on earth knows these things implicitly. This fails to explain why psychopaths take joy in inflicting pain on others, or why sociopaths can't empathize with their fellow man. Claiming that God has given us this common moral foundation only causes more questions than it gives answers.